Ah. This right? Kind of. Right. Hello. Oh my gosh, it's 2 minutes. Anyway. Get this higher. That's still a terrible shadow. Anyway. So you're probably wondering, where I've been, and what's happening. You probably noticed that I did not upload a Cursed Conley Circus 4 video, and I've pretty much been dead for all intents and purposes. So where... I don't know what I was supposed to put. Who needs a title? Who needs a title? I'm just erasing with my finger at this point. That dramatic intro was not worth it. Oh my gosh, why does it feel like this camera is not focusing at all? Anyway, so how do I start this? I guess the best way would be to go over why the channel died. So you probably know I'm Zion. Hello. I'm a person and I'm behind this. Seriously wish this would zoom out, but whatever. And well, life, I guess, happened. So let's start with back October last year. So October 2024. Around this time is when I got Invisalign, as you probably saw the little video I did. And that messed a lot with my, ability to make these videos, because as my nerdy self knows, and Phonetics nerd self knows, if you put a big piece of plastic in your mouth, it's going to change how you pronounce things and how things sound when you say them. And it would interfere with the accuracy of my videos, so I didn't want to do it with them in. Of course, I had times of the day, like when I'm eating, where I'd have them out. But besides from that, I had a very small window where I had them out. And it made it a lot more difficult to film these videos. And so it kind of messed with me and made it even more difficult to get these videos out on time. I was already famous for being late and things like that, because I easily forget or get distracted or busy or whatever. But this just only made it worse, as I had these small windows of time I could work with to upload the videos. And so that already hit it pretty hard back in October. And then as we approach, and then around this time to, let's say October to February, what happened was, well, first I was getting a little bit burned out from the videos I do. I felt like the ideas, and this isn't to hate on my community or anything, but I felt like the ideas were running a bit low. Like, we were running out of ideas, and the ideas we were coming up with were getting a little bit boring and stale for sounds to pronounce. I like pronouncing weird and unique sounds, but it felt like these were becoming more just diacritic abominations, which don't have much uniqueness to them, instead of the more obscure but unique type of phonemes or phones that I like to pronounce. And besides from that, just the constant flow of it, I think I was just slowly getting worn down from it and just gonna need a break. This might help people come up with some more ideas and better ideas for it, but it's also really hard to get back into if I kind of get out of it. Another thing was loss of confidence. of confidence. I don't know if I spelled that wrong. That would be kind of ironic. So over this time, I was also kind of, I guess, losing confidence in the accuracy of my videos. To preface again, I am an English speaker and I am prone to, my own language and not necessarily knowing exactly how sounds are pronounced that are foreign to me. I'm mostly self-taught. I've never gone to college for phonetics, so I'm mostly self-taught in a lot of things I know. And so most of the things I know, anyone can figure out and find online. But it's like a lot of critiques were coming out about some of my videos. Like people were commenting, hey, this wasn't accurate, you should retake this. And especially the whole epiglottal thing really hit me. And I started to lose the confidence that my videos were accurate, and I did not want to spread misinformation and mispronunciations of a bunch of sounds. Unlike, my arch nemesis, which I won't name drop, one, because I don't remember their exact name, second, because I'm not about that life, which kind of inspired this channel to some extent, where there was a lot of videos of them pronouncing sounds, whether it was just inaccurate information or inaccurate pronunciation, and they really did not have any attachment to their community at all. And so I didn't want to become like that, and I really did care about the accuracy of my videos and wanting them to be the correct pronunciations. Now, there's something to remember for you people that do speak these foreign languages, and that's that the symbols that people often use to transcribe sounds in languages are not precise, especially with vowels, my behated. They tend to be a little bit off or changed from it. For example, a lot of people will write, like English R is almost impossible to write in general when transcribing, but other sounds are like the K in English, where a lot of times it's not written with its aspiration, and so it's just like written as a plain K, despite it being very aspirated, like ka instead of ga, or whatever its correct one is. So that is one thing that does complicate things with trying to use your language to judge whether or not a sound is accurate. And again, especially with vowels, because vowels are some of the most imprecise things in the entire IPA. It is such a terrible system, and I really do not like how vowels are handled in the International Phonetic Alphabet. And so it's really hard to say if vowels are necessarily accurate, because a lot of times in languages, the vowels are can be in a lot of different places for any given vowel, how they're actually pronounced in any language. That's part of how accent ends up working, or even your personal voice. So there's that, but I still felt like some of these sounds weren't going to be accurate, and I started getting worried and losing confidence as another part of the issue, especially with other parts of my things. Like some issues I have, some inaccuracies I end up having with the channel is my pronunciation of actual terms, which is ironic. But things like, instead of saying breathy, I say breathy, or I used to say diphthong instead of diphthong. And those are kind of just held with me because I learned them incorrectly at some point. I just say it that way, and now I say it that way in general. It's not necessarily about my knowledge or my ability to pronounce sounds. It's the fact that I just didn't learn those terms correctly, and so now it's in my head. There's also weird things like phoneme versus phoneme and stuff like that. So don't pay too much to that, I would say, but it is another thing that's just kind of with my things. So, this was kind of October to February. It was this burnout and this feeling that I'm not sure if my videos are accurate and things like that, and I didn't want to mislead people. Next, we have February, which really put the nail February this year, so please don't die on me yet, marker. We got a little bit left to go. February. Is that spelled correctly? I don't know. I'm not going to put the year. We all know what February I'm talking about. And if you didn't notice, you probably saw where I mentioned I was going to be taking a break from the channel. And I kind of just disappeared. And then I think I also stopped replying to comments around that time. I don't feel good about that. I'm sorry. I stopped replying to comments. My life kind of just blew up at February and things got rough. I didn't mention November here, but November I was also like not doing great with a lot of I wasn't being the most proactive in November about things, but February is when my life fully blew up, and I was taking a break from a lot of things online at the time, and that included this channel. And I stopped replying to comments, and now it's kind of overwhelming to even try and go back and reply to those comments. So I don't know what to do about that. And I've kind of just left this channel for dead. I completely stopped uploading for the most part. So here, let's just make a little, this is gonna look awful probably. I don't know. And then we can just go, boom, boom. Yeah, explosion. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, my life blew up. Yeah. Explosion. That looks terrible. Anyway, I don't want to go into details about too much of my personal stuff. But yeah, it did get a lot more complicated. And then between Invisalign after that, the burnout I was already experiencing, how difficult it is to get back into the swing of all this, and this break, it just completely threw this channel into the grave. And we had hit 1,000 subscribers recently. It's really, I guess, sad to see that this channel died. I don't want to kill this channel. A lot of things in my life are, especially right now, kind of, I don't know what to do, but I really do not want to kill this channel and do want to continue with phonetics content, because I really like phonetics. Even if I'm not good at conlanging too much anymore, I really do like phonetics. Anyway, so you might know about Cursed Conlang Circus 4 and how I mentioned at some point that I was going to try and make an entry for it. And you're probably now wondering what happened to that. I don't even remember the exact time that was when it started, if it was July or August. But around that time, I said, so around, oh no, marker, please stay with me. Okay, July, August time, CC4 mentioned, CCC4 mentioned, and I did have an idea. I had a whole idea planned. I was going to make it, and it wasn't that I didn't want to make the conlang. Don't get me wrong. I really did want to make this conlang. It's just how my schedule ended up, I guess, and that's why it never happened. So let's break down my brain and everything that went on. I started the project. I had a bunch of ideas in my head, not many ideas on paper. And around the same time, I was also working. So if you don't know, I am a Slime Rancher modder. This is a random fact about me. I do Slime Rancher modding on another channel. I have tutorials and stuff. If you're into that scene, you know. And I make the very popular library mod for Slime Rancher, Simple Slime Rancher Mod Library, or SSRML, which is not the loader, which is SRML. Anyway, that's me. I make that. Hello. And at the time, I was working on a mod, which was Velocity Slimes, and an update to SSRML. So, which, by the way, was never released. So, working on SR mods. So, yeah, when that came about, I was still working on those, and then we are going to slowly move into August here. I was still working on those. I hit some kind of roadblocks with this. I was starting to kind of get burned out, which is a very common thing with me in projects. I don't make empty promises. It's just time management and extreme burnout often does me in. Like, it's maybe a bit of executive dysfunction or something too. And then we move into August. Fully into August. where we have a streamer I follow, was having subathon going and had this art thing where you could submit art to it. And so I got started on this art project. So, got started on art for streamer. For this whole art thing that was going on from that subathon. And in the middle of it, I kind of got really, I don't know what the best word for it is, but essentially I was really off from working on even this art, and I was like doing nothing maybe for that little bit of time in the middle, and then I rushed to finish the art. Now, originally my plan was to try and speedrun this art, get the velocity slime stuff done, and have that all done by the end of August and start working on my conlang. And then work on the conlang through September up till the deadline in October. That was the original plan. So we have August, got started on art for streamer, and then it ended up being end of August when I finished it. So by the end of August, I finished it and submitted it. Barely finished it. I didn't quite finish it. It was still in a bit of a sketchy type of look. I didn't really render it or get just totally done with all the design elements I wanted to do, but I got done with some of it, which is good. And then comes September. September came. And September was own month. At the beginning of September, I had to help with an event, so help with event. It was a little thing that happened at the beginning of September. It's not too disruptive with anything, but it was still there. It's something I had to do. It was also kind of end of August. Oh yeah, also I forgot to mention something. I started a college class, which I'm doing. I'm a high school student, but I'm in this thing that lets me do college classes while I'm in high school. So I started that at the end of August. So start. So you have to remember this class is going, which takes up some of my time. So help with event. Then with my birthday, if you didn't know, I'm born in September. I'm born on the 10th, so then my birthday was there, plus party. So I also had a party sometime in September. I had my birthday party as well. I feel like there was other things, like little party event things I had to go to in September. But you can already see that this is a lot going on for me. And I would have to work on the conlang during all this. And to top it all off, at the end of September, I went on a vacation, family vacation. And even if I had spare time on this vacation to work on the conlang, to really work on it, it would have been miserable to try and work on this conlang from vacation. And this is already end of September. So I have barely worked on this conlang at all. It's the end of September. And I'm like, uh-oh, this isn't looking good. I don't remember the exact deadline that conlang CCC4 had in October, but it's not looking pretty with this vacation. And getting back, I would barely have had time to do a video, let alone make a whole conlang. So yeah, that's kind of the rundown of what happened here. Bad time management and constant distractions, burnout, and all kinds of things that just slammed me with this channel. Also, now here, sometime in October, I also stopped, October 2025, I stopped being on Discord, really. I stopped appearing on Discord. Since she disappeared and died, I've not been watching like shows that I normally watch. I don't know if I'll go back to streaming ever even. Like, there's a lot of things up in the air for a lot of stuff I'm doing. I don't want to kill this channel though still, and hope I can continue to do more for this channel at some point. My overly ambitious self, really, for like long form videos, which I want to do on this channel more. wanted to have like a almost storytime animated character type thing for it, which is over ambitious, and I actually originally wanted to use that for the Conley Circus, Chris Conley Circus 3's video. I originally wanted to use one of those too, but that didn't end up happening. That whole one was a train wreck, which is really funny. If you haven't seen that video, you should go check it out. But yeah, that's one thing. My Invisalign, I'm on retainers now with my Invisalign, and I will be completely just nighttime use here sometime early November. I think it's like November 11th is when I'll go be done with this, and that should hopefully open things up. But I am a lot busier now, which has been going on since February when my life exploded. I've been a lot busier, and that's makes my schedule more hectic and more difficult for me to necessarily know when I will be able to record the videos. But I can hope to record videos. The thing with long form videos is this, it kind of goes against the whole channel. I mean, it's called Phonemic Shorts for a reason. I'm not good at long form videos at all. I have had past YouTube channels, if you can hunt them down, but I'm not very good at doing long form videos. I hate editing, which is also another thing. And as you'll see with my channel, it's something I can quickly just pick up and do, is what the videos were. Things I can easily just write on a whiteboard and record a video. Slowly I built a very structured thing around it, you'd see, and it went through a few phases. And I liked the community aspect, although it did make it more difficult for me remembering to do polls and things like that. So yeah, even this video, I've been wanting to make for a little while, probably a couple weeks at this point, maybe longer. I've been wanting to make this video explaining everything with the channel. I don't know exactly where to go from here. I do want to do more phonetic stuff, more different phonetic stuff maybe than the videos. I also kind of want to do a general every basic IPA symbol I want to have a video for. I know a lot of them aren't that useful, but I do just want to have that basic base of all the sounds, and it's kind of been something I've been wanting to do, is finish that off. And something I tend to throw in with my suggestions was sounds that would complete different like rows. I think we did all the approximants. I don't know about anything else, if we finished anything else. I feel like we did, but yeah. I wanted to do some, again, mentioning the long form videos, some long form video ideas I had was doing a tier list. I don't remember which of these. I feel like I mentioned some long form video ideas I had in a post one time, but I don't remember. But I wanted to do a tier list video where I tier listed the IPA and my favorite phonemes. I wanted to do some pet peeve videos, some things that really bother me with the IPA, or certain things that, like, I don't know how to explain this right. Just like certain, like, more opinion, I guess, not opinionating in a completely controversial sense. It's still phonetics. Certain videos about certain phonetic topics that interest me. Maybe a video about how to make a phonetic writing system in the sense of making like your own IPA, either for your con world or just for other reasons. Because I really like doing that. It's a little bit easier for me than conlanging. Which kind of goes into the thing about conlanging streams, which I did on my Twitch. If you didn't know, I would do streams where I'd conlang for a while. The difficulty for those streams for me was always just that for conlanging, I need that inspiration. I need the drive to be conlanging. Otherwise, it's a drag. And if I'm streaming and I'm clearly dragging, trying to do something, it's not entertaining to watch. I'm tired. And you're probably not going to be entertained. Like, I really like the idea of doing more videos, like streams like that, and putting more media like that out there on the internet. But it is hard for me to do so when I am not interested. I did have a conlang idea during this whole time. Instead of doing my curse conlang, I had another idea for fun conlang, but even that I've just kind of dropped working on. But anyway, what other long form video ideas did I have? I'm not exactly sure, but I do want to do the regular videos still too. I just don't know if I'll ever be able to get to doing that again. And if I do, you have to be aware of my burnout and things like that. You probably have all kinds of suggestions, and I am kind of sorry for how I killed the channel here. To some extent, it's just how everything lined up for me and smacked me over the head with these. Okay, well, I ran out of storage on my iPad, but that's not important. Yes, these are recorded on an iPad. Be quiet. What was my train of thought? Yeah, I'm gonna hope to get back into the channel a bit. Continue to record videos to some extent at some point. I can't promise when at all, because I know that long form videos is going to be a lot for me to commit to making those, with everything I would need to do for them. So I cannot promise that I actually will get to doing those, especially if my schedule continues to get busier or I'm at busy times. Even the shorter form videos, it might be difficult for me to do and upload those, because again, it's a very big commitment for me to get into those videos and back into the rhythm of uploading them every single week. So I hope this at least clears up where I've been and why the channel's been dead. It's not really an excuse. I'm not trying to make a bunch of excuses for it. I'm just trying to explain what happened and clarify where I've been. So, I feel like I have more to say, but I don't remember what I have more to say, and that's the history of my life. This is why I don't do long form videos. I always forget something and ramble about nonsense. I'm sorry, this video is very all over. Is that it? It might have been it. We can hope. So yes, there's not going to be a Curse Conley Circus 4 video, sadly. I'm not just gonna late submit, like make a belated submission where I was like, this is what I would have done. No. I don't know if I'll ever work on that conlang, actually. It's just very hard for me to conlang, especially when you get to vocabulary and stuff like that. It's just translations. I hate doing translations. So yeah, I'm a phonetics nerd. I'm more of a phonetics nerd than a conlanger at this point. But I do like conlanging sometimes. It just has to be very motivated conlanging. But yeah, hopefully I can do more videos, different types of videos as well. And we'll see where this channel goes. And hopefully the channel doesn't go further into the grave. I don't think I have anything more to say, so yeah, wish the channel the best of luck, and let's see what we can do in the next year. Yeah, woohoo! What do I normally say at the end of videos? No, I gotta remember this. Oh yeah, there you go.